Hey, what's going on guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another Division video. And today I want to bring you guys an interview that I had a chance to record. If you've seen some of the gameplay that both myself and Taylor have been uploading on the channel, then you'll know that we both had a chance to go to events at the end of last year. I flew to Malmo, he flew to Redstorm. We had a chance to record some gameplay, which is what you guys have been uploading. But while I was there, while I was at my event in Malmo, I had a chance to sit down with Julian Gerighty, who's the creative director, and Mathias Karlson, who is the game director. Asked them some questions. I spoke about the Dark Zone. I asked them about endgame. I asked them about raids. I asked them about loads of different things like that. So in this video, you guys can check out the interview. We've got some cool stuff to talk about. So hopefully you enjoy it. Of course, if you haven't entered our giveaway for the limited edition Super Smash Bros. Nintendo Switch, remember that link is in the description box down below. You can click that to enter. And of course, let me know in the comments down below what you think. But here is that interview.
Firstly, how are you guys doing?
Pretty good. A little bit crispy.
Fair, yeah.
You're coming to see us at the end of the year. We've been working fairly hard.
Very hard,
the build.
yeah.
Today was an important milestone for the build.
Okay.
So we're not at our freshest, put it like that.
Fair. Well, I mean, you've been doing fantastic work from what I've seen so far, so clearly it's paying off.
It's very kind, thank you.
How are you? How's things going? How's things moving along?
I can second that.
Yeah.
As you can tell, the Swedish lack of sun is
Oh
taking
dear.
its toll on us.
Come back in like 3 months and you have beards this big, right?
No, but it's happy tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. So let's start. So obviously today, the main thing that we've been playing is of course the Dark Zone. So you know some fantastic changes there. So let's start off with that. What did you learn from the first Dark Zone, and what did you kind of like take from that when sort of building this new experience?
So I think the thing is the Dark Zone since launch, and this was 3 years ago, or almost 3 years ago, has not been a static area at all. We brought a lot of changes, new activities, contamination events, things like that. The toggle to go rogue, and fundamentally what we wanted to do is to create a more fair playing field for everybody going into the Dark Zone. We wanted to create a location that people were a little bit less afraid of going into.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, the introduction mission that you played today. And we wanted a place that was rewarding no matter what you got up to within the Dark Zone. So there again, some changes too. So philosophically, the idea was how can we make this a level playing field that's rewarding for everybody.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. There's you can definitely sort of like see that from some of like the initial experience we had. So, with that being said, what because like now obviously we've gone from a structure whereby we have one big central Dark Zone, and we've now got you know like the 3 split ones. Like, what was your kind of like design decision behind that?
Do you want me to take this one again? Sorry, I'm gonna hog the mic a little bit.
Quite all right.
There are several reasons. One that was important for me was not to break player flow. So if you think of the top-down view of the map, having that central Dark Zone breaks the flow of a player, right?
Definitely.
So it isn't ideal. So moving the Dark Zone towards the extremities is obviously a move to preserve a more logic player flow within the open world of the center of the map. But that created other opportunities too. Having 3 Dark Zones allows us to lean into the architectural differences of those areas. The area around Union Station, long sight lines, dense vegetation, parks, squares, lots of things that are very different from Dark Zone South, which is big buildings, interiors. It's a very different feel, and that also added benefit allows us to create stories for each one of those Dark Zones, which is completely different. So different moods, different play styles, and a better player flow.
And with that being said, do you feel like the changes now might, because obviously the Dark Zone the first time in Division 1 was an interesting sort of social experiment. I mean, somewhere that I spent a lot of time in, but I understand obviously from from some players it wasn't necessarily their ideal experience. So what do you think the new changes will? Do you think those kind of players might have more compelling reasons to go into the Dark Zone now?
I think so, and I'm gonna add a thing to what Julian was saying as well at the end.
Sure.
But I think little things like having an intro mission, just because the Dark Zone, I think what's sad for the people that maybe never set their foot in the Dark Zone in the first game is that we really build them with a distinct, different mood.
Yeah.
You know, and theme. It is that like, okay, I'm dipping my toe into almost a time capsule. And it's a place of here be dragons, right?
Yeah.
Like, on the map in many ways. So I think getting a little bit of time there alone or with your group, without the risk, danger, nor opportunity of PvP, is the first step, right? Then I think we've done some other more low-level things, where, for example, all loot in the Dark Zone doesn't have to be extracted anymore. So there's more rewards going straight to inventory. But when you find something contaminated, that needs to be extracted. You know, same flare gun, defend the area, all of that. But we're rolling those items post-extraction, so they're actually more predictably good for you.
Ah, okay.
So I think all in all, these little things. Oh, and I think also the rogue loop, the tweaks to the rogue loop, where of course it's still the case. If you kill another player, you flag yourself rogue, and you get the red skull. You're rogue. You can escalate that all the way up to triggering a manhunt. You know, yellow skull. But we've added the same type of granularity downwards, if you will, towards opportunism, theft, greed. Like, I'm gonna steal this entire supply door for myself. Oh, and another player that's been killed, I'm gonna take his stuff, etc. That also triggers you rogue, and kind of teases you into that loop and potential reward and the thrill of it, without having to necessarily engage into PvP and killing someone else.
Fair.
But I think another fantastic opportunity the 3 Dark Zones gave us is what we call occupied Dark Zones. Because we do know that a lot of people love the raw, vanilla Dark Zone experience. This is before toggling rogue, before, you know, the things that we added for good reasons in post-launch. But with 3 Dark Zones, we can now run occupied, meaning friendly fire is always on. We're not going to normalize anything. It's really that pure risk versus reward. What is that player up to? You know, type experience.
Okay, no, brilliant. I mean, yeah. There's definitely. I'm super excited to sort of see how people respond to that, because I think the nice thing that I personally got from it was that by having the smaller Dark Zones, you also have more engagements. I mean, you know, the typical flow from before was that, you know, you run from the south to north, and then by the time you get there, everything's finished. So I'm definitely excited to sort of see how that pans out. Just
to linger on the different player types a little bit, because I'm notoriously on the team a fairly casual player.
Fair.
Right? I loved the Dark Zone before the super theory crafted builds came in. The death squads, and just the experience of normalizing the Dark Zones, which is one of the big things that we're doing, doesn't invalidate your build, doesn't invalidate the gear choices, but it squishes those stats, squishes those peaks and troughs of difference. And that gives me, with my exemplary skills, a chance to survive in the Dark Zone. Yeah. And I think that's going to go a long way to being a more, giving this impression that it is a fair place to go into.
Yes. No, I definitely agree. So moving on from the Dark Zone from there, obviously one of the other big things, you know, Division 2 was built with endgame first. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. Raids, for someone like, you know, for me, raids is a topic that I'm super passionate about. So, and I appreciate one of the best things about raids is obviously the mystery. So there's probably a lot of stuff you can't say. But speaking, if I were to kind of put like a raid spectrometer, on one side you've got like mechanic heavy, World of Warcraft, you know, maybe even some of the newer Destiny raids, and on the far side you've obviously got incursions, which, you know, weren't raids before. Where would you put, you know, raids this time around?
I would put them clearly towards the ladder.
Yeah.
So we really built raids to be bespoke mechanics, bespoke boss fights.
Okay.
Really about what can we do with the mechanics we have in the game.
Yeah.
With specializations, with the RPG systems and the shooting elements, with 8 people.
Yeah.
You know, working with groups, splitting the groups, you know, this and that. We don't want to say too much.
No, that's fair. Right? That's fair.
But you can expect that, you know, social puzzling element too.
Good. So you do foresee like a part where someone may go to a boss fight and not instantly know how to defeat it. They might just be like, you know, can we potentially? I mean, I don't know whether that's dipping too far in, but can we hope for maybe like wipe mechanics, whereby, you know, you've done it wrong, your whole team's dead, start again? Are we looking at that kind of raid aspect, or is that too deep down there? Okay.
Let's just say it's not going to be easy.
Okay. Yeah. With that being said, one of the nice things about raids as well is that when the community bands together and obviously you go for that world first race, can we expect them to launch slightly after the game is launched to get everyone a chance to gear up and get ready for them? Yeah. Okay. Brilliant.
Yes, that's if you. That's.
It's exactly what we're planning to do.
Okay, brilliant.
We do realize that it's a goal to achieve. It's the most hardcore activity in endgame. It's the diamond to attain. So it's going to take a while to get leveled up for it, to get the gear for it, to get the team ready for it. So it'll launch a little bit after the game launches.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. So a few, I've been told I've only got like 2 minutes. So I'm going to turn this last bit into a few like quickfire questions, given that I don't have too long. So raids plural?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Lots of raid questions.
Yeah,
it's good.
No,
I wasn't expecting.
I'm moving on from that one to. Is there going to be any sort of similar experience to Underground in Division 2, whereby you can kind of jump into it, quickly kind of loop around and get back out?
We haven't confirmed plans.
Fair enough. How about Survival?
I'd love to see Survival come back.
Okay, yeah, I would love to see Survival come back. That was one of my favorite things. How are exotics more unique now?
This one's more.
Several ways, but I think I'm gonna focus on that they're truly exotic in their looks.
Okay.
I think you're gonna see a clear difference, a level up of them, if you will, from the Division 1. They were cool in the Division 1, but here they all have an anchor in the narrative. They have backstories. They have a reason to exist that is connected to the game world and the Division universe at large.
Okay, brilliant.
And of course, really cool gameplay effects.
Fair. Are there any new status effects?
Don't think we're talking about it.
Fair enough. Are there good beards? Or is Carrot's customization more in depth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is crafting still going to be a thing?
Yes.
Okay. Are there going to be more cosmetic options? Will like masks work their way into the game? And will masks be yeah?
Yes. More options.
And also skins. They span more items now, right?
Yes. And we have dyes for clothing and things like that.
What do you think about the idea of a kind of community skins and dyes? Let's just say, for example, we have our own one, right? And then you set up like a dark zone area for like a period of time where there's like a bounty. People kill us.
I'll stop you there. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'd love to do that.
I'll give
Did you just spit it out? That's going to make
He's like, I'm committed to this.
That's going to make an awesome clip, because I'd love to do stuff like that. I'd love to feature stuff that really represents the community that we have and some achievements within the game. So I'd love to explore it.
Fair enough. And one final thing to round it out, because obviously I know a lot of people want to know about this. Like, endgame is a super important thing. Obviously, it's not just about raids. For the solo players out there, where is there going to be some kind of endgame activity they can dive into that isn't necessarily going to require a pre-made team?
Absolutely. For me, again, for the team, endgame doesn't equal hardcore.
Right.
Only certain activities are super hardcore.
Fair.
So we have one or two surprises that are narrative and gameplay hooks that will really engage people in endgame.
Okay, brilliant. Right, well, thank you very much for that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I suppose just to round it out, like, if you've got anything you would like to sort of say to the community, or anything you're particularly looking forward to them experiencing.
I mean, we're very tired at the moment, but
that's fair enough.
When we do events like this and we see people having as much fun as they've been having over these last 2 days, it's really inspiring. And there are a bunch of people from the team who are coming down and taking a sneak peek, because it really fills people with, okay, this is what we've been working for.
Yeah.
So again, thank you very much to the community. I know the community's engaged, passionate, and there's a lot of passion there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you to both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out some more awesome stuff from us here at Arekkz Gaming, then you should definitely try to catch 269 and Paradise Central streaming 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. They play a wide range of games, and what's more, we also have the endgame store. By watching their streams, you earn currency, and you can redeem that currency on the endgame store for really cool prizes. Those can range from things like games, comics, and figures, all the way up to controllers, capture cards, and even consoles. So definitely drop by and become part of the community. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you're subscribed and be sure to click on that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. You can watch more videos by clicking on the options here, but once again, thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.